Hello guys, welcome to JazzedTutorials, and this week I'm going to be showing you another cool characteristic type of drawing in Illustrator. So for those of you that do not have Illustrator on your computer, this is not for you because it is not able to be done in Photoshop, or at least I don't think so. So yeah. Back in October, I believe we made like a little ghostly type of guy. I thought that was kind of like an epic fail in my opinion. It was my first ever character I ever made in Illustrator, so it was my first time. But now that I'm kind of like getting into it and know how to kind of do certain things, I can make stuff. So I'm attempting to make a second one, and this time we're making an octopus. Although I will say the pen tool in Illustrator is a hell of a lot different, so the little tentacles we're making, mine might look a bit weird. But again, if you're an expert in Illustrator, then this will be perfect for you. You'll know how to do all of this stuff probably, and even better than me. Okay, so open a new artboard. That's what they call this in Illustrator. Not a canvas like Photoshop, but an artboard. I chose 11 inches by 8.5. Yeah. And yeah, you can choose really any size you like as long as it's big enough to work with everything. Okay, so once you have your artboard open, over here on my layer panel, I just made a new layer above the layer 1 just so it's easy to work with. So I'm going to grab my elliptical tool over here, and I'm going to make a lovely circle of size. Let's see, that's probably about a good size. Whatever size you want for your octopus's face, really. But I wouldn't go too big because you don't want to be too obnoxious. But yeah, alright. So I've moved mine over there. Now we're going to unselect it for a bit, and then we're going to go over here, and I chose a bluish kind of aqua color for mine, but you can choose whatever colors you like. Over here is your selection for your colors, as well as your color selector over here. Okay, once you have the color you like, we're going to go to the direct selection tool. This one right here will actually let you select a certain anchor point on your image. So once you have yours there, select the bottom anchor point, and then you'll get all those cool things there. And you're going to then just drag the bottom one just a bit out so you get kind of like an octopusy like look. Okay, so I kind of like that. It's not too big and not too crazy. So once you have that, you're going to then duplicate that. And I'll show you the coolest way to duplicate stuff in Illustrator, guys. It's pretty simple. Hold down your Alt key when you have the selector. So select it with the selector. Hold down the Alt key and just boom, move it down. Move it down. Or move it up. So for this particular tutorial, you want to move it upwards, but just so you knew how to do it up or down. Okay. Then on your top layer, you're going to change that to a very light color that's like the one you have, but lighter. So go over here. I'm going over here to my lovely little swatch here. I'm just changing the top color to something really light. Yeah. So that works out. Look at that. It's three-dimensional. Okay, now once you have that, that's basically your face. Now we're going to add some lovely little spots, because some octopuses have spots on their head. Some do, some don't. So we're going to add some. So go over here. I'm going to navigate and just go zooming in a bit, because we're going to add this to the top of the head here. So with your... Oh, too far up. Okay. So now with your elliptical tool still selected, and this time you want to select a little bright lighter color, not white, but also not too dark. So just, a lighter color than what you have on your top, just so it shows through. And you want to add maybe like 5, 6 dots, just randomly somewhere on there. 4. And just make sure they're various sizes, because if they're almost the same, it looks ridiculous. Okay, something like that. Alright. Yeah, you get the idea, right, guys? Okay. Anyway, so now we have the head, so now we have to make the eyes. No, we have to make the eyes and the mouth. Now, the mouth is going to be a bit tricky because you gotta do a lot of things to it, and it took me forever to figure out how to make a mouth in Illustrator, guys. It really did. But I found a really easy way to do it, and I'm going to show you. So we're going to just go off to the side here a bit. We're not going to work on top of the mouth because we have to erase a few things, and if you do use the eraser tool on top of this here, you'll end up erasing probably part of the image. So over here, we're going to add another circle. Oops. Let's see, that's about a good size. Okay, something like that. And this needs to be black because we're making a mouth, so go over here to your color swatch here and select black. Okay, coolness, alright. Then you want to uncheck that one, and we're going to go up here and add another 2 ellipticals. These 2 circles have to be almost the same size, but I will show you yet again how to copy those, so something like that of small size. And this one has to be white. Alright, so we got a white one there. And I'm going to drag it on top of this layer because what we're doing is we're making a mouth. Okay. So you want to kind of place it where you think you want to have your teeth for the mouth go. We're going to put that right there. And then what we did before, we're going to also now copy that by using our Alt key, and we're going to drag that over. So drag it over, and then you can always replace it, whatever. I'm going to move that one there. Move it just a little bit over there. Okay. And now you can see we have the mouth, but what you're going to notice though is if you take this whole entire thing, holding shift and moving it over there, you'll notice there's the white on the top. So we have to grab our eraser tool and we need to erase the top of that. So I'm going to navigate a bit and go zooming in so I can do this properly, because if I don't, it'll mess it up. Now, what you can also do is if you really have trouble seeing, well, obviously you can't see the top of it because it's white. So what I'm going to do, just so I can easily erase the parts I don't want, is I'm going to colorize these with random colors just so I can erase it and make it easy. So we're going to make that white again in a moment, don't worry, but we're going to just colorize this to erase just so we can see what we're erasing and where. Because if you erase too much, it'll look ridiculous, and if you erase not enough, it'll also look ridiculous. So you got to be kind of precise with this part here. And if you hold down the shift key like you do in Photoshop, you can also erase just parts that you don't want. And again, you're going to probably have to keep erasing, erasing, and undoing because you're going to probably make mistakes that you're unaware of, and that's okay. Okay. And now let's do the second one, and we'll erase the top of that in a moment. I'm just trying to get it so it's precisely accurate. You know what? Yeah. Precisely accurate. So now once you have it erased so you can barely see anything, you can kind of just, if you want to erase the entire part of the top, you can. But when you put it white, it's not going to really show much, so it'll be okay. So now we're going to move these back up to the top here. Sort of, and I'm going to continue erasing just a bit more. I am going to get rid of this one here, and I'm going to be a cool kid, and just because I already erased this part here and I like the way it looks, alright, and of course we're going to have to just take this and obviously rotate it. Alright, well anyway, so now let's go back here and change this back to white. Select them both, turn them back to white, and now you can move them however you like, move it up, blah blah blah. Okay. Cool, we have the first part of our mouth completed, sort of. Now we have to go to the bottom of this and we need to go and make the mouth, the other mouth part. Oh, hallelujah, guys. This is going to be so much fun. Alright, so now, again, grab your elliptical tool. And we're going to do the same exact technique as we did before, guys. Only we're doing one big circle, not like 2. Okay. Grab that selection. Stick it here. Kind of. Okay. And now on this one, we're going to go ahead and we're going to add a gradient. So we're going to do a pink to pink kind of color coded here. Hold on, I don't need that one. Okay, something kind of along the lines of this, but a little bit more pink. There we go. Alright. And now we're going to have to change our angle because we want to have it so that it's kind of like a real mouth looking. So I'm going to go with an 85-degree angle. Okay, well, that's close enough. Okay, so once you have yours looking kind of like that, sort of, we're going to go up here, and you're going to keep it there just like we did before. And again, we're going to have to erase parts that we don't want because we want to have it only on that. So grab your lovely eraser tool, and again, just, oh wait, make sure you click the one you want to erase, otherwise you'll be erasing almost part of it. Okay, so get rid of that. Let me zoom in just more so I can really precisely erase this. Okay, well, I'm back now after erasing that long ass image. Okay, so now I'm going to zoom back out. And okay, well, that's kind of the gist of what you want to do. Alright, so now that we have that, you could go ahead and select all of those layers. And you do that by holding down your Shift key, because in Photoshop it's Command, but in Illustrator it's actually Shift. Alright, there we go. Alright, so now we have that. We have it there. Place it where you like it. And then now we have to do the eyes. The eyes are very self-explanatory. All you do is you do a circle, and then a small black circle, 2 black circles for the eyes, and then 2 small white circles within the black circle for the eyes. And that's the eyes. And then you get to go to the tentacles, which I'll show you in a second in my other canvas. So I already made this whole entire little octopus way better beforehand. So let's go over here to my regular artboard. This was my main artboard I was working with. And yeah, much better. So as you notice on the black here, which I forgot to show you, is I cut part of the black. So if we go over here, you can again start to erase parts you don't want to have showing, and then you can just move the pink thing up there. I forgot to show you guys. I feel terrible. I just missed a step. Oh my god, my mind's still going. Okay, well anyway, so that's what you do, is you just erase half the circle, put the mouth in the bottom, and then the 2 teeth right on top, and then you have your 2 little eyes here with the black and the white. That's the first portion of your octopus. Now comes the tricky part. I'm not going to really show you guys exactly how to do it because it will be different, because everyone's going to want to make them differently. So now comes your tentacles. Now the tentacles are very difficult, I found in Illustrator. It took me forever to make even one. It took really half an hour to make one tentacle. And you gotta make 8 tentacles! Well, you can use the one and duplicate and do the same. And then rotate. It just makes it easier to do it that way. So, if you grab your pen tool, which is over here with the P tool, you're gonna have to drag out, move, maneuver, and all that stuff. But what you want to have is you want to have a stroke layer on your tentacles, and I'll show you what mine look like. That's what mine look like, and they look kind of weird and butchered, I think, but it was the best I could literally do. I wasn't going to sit there for an hour trying to make perfect tentacles in Illustrator. Seriously, guys. I couldn't. You know? So, on my tentacles, as you'll notice, I have a little fading tentacle there. And I just want to add some depth to my photo. So what I did here is I took over here on my tentacle, my one is I have a stroke and I have a fill. Someone told me, oh, just use a stroke, you don't need a fill. Well, if I use just the stroke, it will look pretty good. So I used a 15-point stroke. And you can find your stroke settings over here. Where are they? Go to Window, and then select Stroke, and your settings will be here. My weight is, I chose 15 for the weight originally. And then over here for my cap, I chose round cap, and that was that. And then I chose the same color I used for the face for my tentacles, so they blend in. And then just because I'm a cool kid, I took the tentacles and I duplicated it. And on the duplicated copy layer, I put on top a gradient with blue to blue. But that's optional, guys. You don't have to do that. That's a whole different, step to go through. So you get the gist. And then, of course, as you'll notice, I had to rotate as I went along the octopus because That's just how you have to do it. Okay, so that's my another little character. I think the face looks way better. The tentacles to me look kind of butchered, but I couldn't figure it out. I was just like, in half an hour later, oh. Alright, you've sat through this video long enough, guys. I'm not going to bore you to tears anymore. So thank you for watching. Hopefully you learned something. Hopefully it was awesome. And again, thank you all for subscribing. Oh my god, guys, before I go, we are almost 100 subscribers away from hitting 11,000 people. That's amazing, guys. 11,000 of you have subscribed to this channel because you think I have a special talent and gift, and I think that's amazing. And I thank each and every one of you individually if I could, but I can't, so I'll thank you all in a video. And just know you're special, you're awesome, and keep doing what you're doing. I love you all. And again, 2015 is the year for JazzedTutorials. Things will happen. I'm making things happen for this channel. So thanks for watching, and I will catch you all later. Bye!